Chainsaw Man Part 2 is like my favorite slice of life manga where nothing at all goes wrong. Fujimoto keeps teasing and teasing the turning point in this dark story for real. We keep waiting for it to all go to crap, but somehow Fujimoto paces the story in like extreme expectation. Then the reality just lets us catch our breath, only for the suspense to come right back. It's like Fujimoto is playing hot potato with us readers, and as soon as that moment hits, it will quite literally be hell on earth. But the buildup is peak. No one is quite doing it like Fujimoto is, because one moment we can be in an intense bloodbath, the next we have a high school date, and the sheer expectation never stops. And this week's chapter proved that. The last couple of weeks in Chainsaw Man were pretty crazy. Asa definitely has some social disorder, cause that girl just ain't right. She's riskless, she fumbles the bag, and she tantrums like a mentally ill person. She's like that awkward girl in school who secretly judges others, has no friends, and acts like they don't care, but they actually really do.
I don't need friends, they disappoint me.
On the other hand, we got the Riz god Denji himself, the boy with the literal mother freaking dog in him. And recently, he actually made Asa seem kind of okay and brought her down to a level where Denji could vibe with her. Denji managed to bring out the true Asa, and she showed the same kind of traits as his old friend Power. So in turn, they started liking each other and escaped the aquarium via Asa's power. So now Asa and Denji are like a couple on good terms. And it's like, damn, you almost forget the fact that we fought the freaking Eternity Devil, and Yoru / Fami / freaking Yoshida are planning something devious. I don't know. Fujimoto is just really good at how he can brush off huge plot points, but make even the most minor circumstances feel as powerful as they are. Then just drop a crazy heart-wrenching twist for no reason. Which brings us to chapter 118. Again, it's like a freaking roller coaster with this dude. But this week's chapter was clean. As expected, Denji is not a weapon and he did not die, of course. And there's a bit of a goofy moment of Yoru trying to transfigure Denji into a weapon. And all that suspension from last week is played off. It's kind of crazy. Yoru is flabbergasted. They cannot figure out why Denji hasn't turned into a weapon. But that would imply that Denji has no romantic feeling toward Asa, or at least to Asa's understanding, Denji doesn't like her like that. However, Asa has caught feelings for Denji, and in turn, Yoru also feels the same way. So yet again, another love interest in Denji's life trying to kill him, nothing new here. But the chapter also brushes off the fact that Yoru had an exchange with the Famine Devil, one of the 4 freaking horsemen of the apocalypse, but Yoru refuses to elaborate and just warns Asa to stay away from her. So like I said before, Fujimoto just really be slick, just speed blitzing past these things just like that. Anyways, Asa is now actually in love with Denji, and you know, what can you say? Denji has the literal dog in him. I'd be kind of surprised if she didn't, but after contemplating all these things and that entire mess of events and how she feels after everything, apparently in her mind, Denji has no feelings for her. Of course, we know otherwise, but Asa goes full femcel, angsty teen girl mode again. And what's crazy is how we may have had this idea about Asa and her potential as a character, but as it turns out, she is like everything awkward about a person put into one girl. That one time a stranger waved at you, not you, but the person behind you, and you wave back, that is Asa. When the waiter says, enjoy your meal, Asa says, you too. Asa's the type of person to trip hard as hell down the stairs in public and walk it off like she didn't just eat the freaking pavement. For real, bro, Fujimoto might have just created like the most relatable manga character ever. So the next day, Asa goes on her second date with Denji and they decide to do a movie. And that's pretty cool. Denji has a deal for 2,000 yen to watch a bunch of mummy movies all day until like 2 a.m. like a marathon. I imagine it's kind of the same thing with Denji's date with Makima. Maybe he wants to imitate that. And Asa responds by telling Denji it's too expensive. Let's buy video rentals. I don't want any pricey dates. First of all, Asa makes it sound like she goes on any dates at all. Her Riz game is bad. It's negative Riz, bro. I'm pretty sure Denji is like the first boy her age to actually acknowledge her. Second, 2,000 Japanese yen sounds like a lot, but bruh, Asa, that's like $15. I mean, even Denji, who hustles on the streets with actual homeless people, can afford it. So Asa's just being completely out of pocket for real, and I love it. So Asa insists to have a date watching video rentals instead at home, and mentions doing it at Denji's place since he has a VCR. And as soon as Denji's house was brought up, Denji is shook. More shook than he's been this entire arc, fighting devils and everything. It's cold red, but we can still make this work. Denji is shook, but he can still make it work. On the one condition, to follow our home's rules. Whatever you do, don't break the rules. Worst case scenario, you break the rules, you die. So, yeah, another week, another what the f moment by Fujimoto. Denji was absolutely terrified at the thought of his house, and you already know, he's harboring Neyuta, one of the 4 horsemen, being conquest in his home. I don't know if Neyuta goes to daycare or grade school, but being that Denji said she's smart enough to go to college, she's definitely some type of control freak. Maybe just like her predecessor, Makima, possessing the same powers. Maybe there's some crazy condition like, if you don't take your shoes off at the door after 10 seconds of entering the house, you burst into flames. Or if you don't clean up after yourself, you have a heart attack. Something insanely crazy like that. If Immortal Denji is sweating, then this must really be serious. I can already imagine the crazy about to happen, especially if people just show up to Denji's house uninvited. You already know, somehow, Yoshida is going to third wheel in on the situation. Bro's going to show up at the front door asking to use the restroom or something crazy. Then we got the class president and Fami. And I don't know, it just seems all too likely for them to just show up just because. Like, imagine 3 calamities in one house. Fujimoto would pull something like that. But this is interesting. Chainsawman Part 2 is still my favorite slice of life manga where nothing at all goes wrong. But you know, maybe next chapter everyone's just chilling in the house, watching movies, playing Monopoly or something crazy. Or someone dies from Neyuta in some insane gory way. You never know with Fujimoto. But please share your thoughts below. This has been Enemy Stand User, and I'll see you awesome guys in the next one. Bye bye.